Well, hello and welcome to Savannah, Georgia. I know we said we were going to South Carolina, but they have been hit with snowstorms, I think twice now, and they kept getting pushed. So the boss man said, hey, let's go down to Savannah. Let's get this project knocked out. So here we are in Savannah. We've got a pretty significant project here. What we're looking at is the first side of the property. We've got two playgrounds over here and over here. On the scope of work, we are actually going to be removing both of these. These have seen better days. They are ready to be recycled. So they're off to the yard. This guy over here on this side, when we go ahead and take this guy out, we'll be putting in a new playground over here for the younger kids. This is for the kindergarten and I believe preschool. And then of course we've got this guy over here who's just getting completely recycled. So we will be taking out both of these and installing a new one in this area. And then we've got plenty of other work at the other side of the property. So let's go take a look over there. Over on this side of the property, you'll see we've got a couple of much older looking structures. These structures have certainly seen better years. We'll be removing this entire structure, all of the border with it, taking out all the mulch. We'll be removing that entire structure, border. We'll be moving all of that mulch. And then of course we've got this third structure right here. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out, try and save on some of that mulch over there so that we can go ahead and set it into this particular playground right over here, because this is the only one that's actually going to be remaining. And then of course the other installation that we're going to be doing is going to be over to the side of that playground. So let's go ahead over there. We're going to go ahead and start laying it out. We've got our drawings to review real quick. We're going to check and make sure that we've got no flags. Our 811 was called in. Make sure that we have no obstructions, no sewers, no water. So make sure that we're ready to go ahead and start working. So let's go over there. Taking a quick look at our drawings, these are the two structures that we're going to be building. You guys will excuse the chicken scratch all over it. We've already begun the layout work and our measurements, but this is our larger structure for our 3rd to 5th graders. This is the 2D view, looking at it from the top. And this particular structure is the one that we will be building in the previous area for the youngsters. So these are the two drawings. This is what we're aiming for, and this is what we are going to begin laying out now. What we do know is that this section is going to be about 42 feet by about 38 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start pinning out our locations. We've got our diagonal measurements so that we know that we've got a good square hole with the old Pythagorean theorem. Remember that one from school? We've got all of our calculations done. So what we're going to do is start pinning and measuring. Yep, and now we can go ahead and start doing inventory and just kind of taking a look at what we got over there, start getting things laid out and figured out. Let's go see what's in the box. What's in the box? Let's go see what's in the box. All right, well, inventory is good. We've got most of what we think we need, which is good news for a playground that's been sitting in the parking lot for a while. So what we're gonna do now is continue with our layout. We're gonna go ahead and get our deck marked, get our first drill point set. So these guys are working on getting our triangulation and our areas squared off. So let's follow them around. Guess what time it is? It's time to start drilling holes and setting poles. Just like that, the first deck is set. So we're now ready to go with this particular project. What we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up on this area. We're gonna go ahead, get our holes backfilled a little bit, get some of our stuff cleaned up. Then we're gonna move over to the old playground that we brought in, and we are gonna start jackhammering the concrete balls off the bottom so we can get that ready for installation at the other side of the property. This is the playground we brought from the other school. As you can tell, it was literally disassembled and then was pulled out of the ground. So all of the giant concrete balls are still on all of our primary posts. So what we're gonna have to do, unfortunately, is, work. Joey's gonna start with the sledgehammer, but I'll get the jackhammer in a minute, but we'll let Joey start with the sledgehammer. Let's see how he does. Day one in Savannah. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end this day today. You might be asking yourselves, well, didn't you say you were gonna build 2 playgrounds? Yes, we were. But keep in mind, the other playground, we've got to demo that one in order to put that one in there. School is open right now, and believe it or not, we do this for the kids. So we didn't want to go ahead and tear down one of their playgrounds that they're using right now, just so that we can begin our second one. You can balance it either way you want to, but our choice is we're going to leave the playgrounds up. The kids are still using it. They come back to school tomorrow. At least right now, they have all 5 playgrounds to play on. It might not be until this weekend before we actually get to doing the actual demo on the playgrounds. But we do have this deck set. We do have the other playground basically prepped in terms of all the concrete is removed. We got to do some paint work on there. Got scratched up in transit, which might be expected. But outside of that, that's going to bring day one down to a close. So first deck is set, all is good. We've got our materials cleaned up. They have asked us to go ahead and caution tape off the area. So we're going to go ahead and get our tape, and we will see you all tomorrow morning. Rise and shine for day 2. A little chilly this morning. what we're doing is going ahead and breaking down all of our straps and everything that we had holding up our first deck yesterday. Getting ready to go ahead and start laying out the remainder of the decks. The goal today is to go ahead and get as many of the decks up and around, build the concentric circles around this, and try and get our transfer station up. With that, we're just going to go ahead and dig in and get started. Now, if you remember from the plan yesterday, our goal today is we're going to go ahead and try and get all of these triangle decks in. So there's a total of 14 decks, and you can see they're all at different elevations. What we're going to start doing is we're going to start laying out the triangle decks, start pinning out our drill locations. Once we've got those set up, we're going to go ahead and start digging some holes, setting some poles. We'll get a couple of decks set, and then we'll just keep working around in circles. So a lot of what we're going to be doing today is going to be a lot of drilling, a lot of transit on the holes, and then going ahead and getting a lot of the deck set. So that's what you'll be watching. Enjoy. Going ahead and getting the equipment ready, getting the auger bit put on. You can see that we've laid out the remaining decks in the circle. So if you include the deck that's already been mounted, we've got our first concentric circle already laid out. We've got our 4 pin locations. We're going to go ahead and drill those. So it's time to start digging holes and setting poles. On the other corner of the project, what we've got over here is we've got the roof laid out. This is the roof that's going to go on top of the new structure being built off to the side. In tandem with those guys all working on the tower and getting that part situated, what we're going to start working on is we're not only going to go ahead and start getting this roof bolted together, but also remember we've got this second playground. We knocked all that concrete off yesterday, so now comes the fun part of going ahead. We're going to wipe all these down. These probably are all going to need a fresh coat of paint, so they look good when we install them. So we're going to go ahead, get these cleaned up, see if we can't get some of the broken nuts and bolts set out of them, get some of the holes patched up, while these guys continue to work on the tower over there. So the guys got all the decks put up on the first inner circle. What they're doing right now is they're laying out the second concentric circle that's going to be working its way around, and incrementally each deck is going to be about 8 inches higher. What they're doing now is getting everything laid down, getting it pinned out, getting ready to drill, and they will go ahead and continue adding posts and keep getting it up to about 8 feet. Well, while those guys are putting on all of the decks and continuing to get the structure done, I've been working on the roof structure that's going to go on top of the tall posts that are over there. The roof in and of itself, just 6 panels. They kind of all bolt together at all of the seams. So I've been working on this off to the side while they've been working on that. We're not going to be able to get this put up on the structure today. We like to get our posts concreted in before we go ahead and start putting weight on top of it and start shifting poles around. I'm going to finish up this roof right here, and then we'll see what the next project is. Probably going to get started on the transfer station and some of the railings, some of the safety loops, and a couple other things before we wrap up our day today. So that's the roof that'll go on the structure, and then tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to pick it up with the boom pole. We'll put the peak on, somebody will get underneath there, put the rest of our nuts and bolts on, and that'll be complete. All right, let's go back to Larry, Daryl, and his other brother, Daryl. They are continuing to put the decks on. We are now as high as the structure is going to go up here at 96 inches. So what they're going to do is be putting in the rest of the posts that are down here, extending out this top deck for the slides that are coming off the back. I want to see if I can give you a little tilted back view here. So yeah, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 larger poles up there, what that roof is going to be sitting on top of. So we'll probably go ahead and get that set probably tomorrow, to be honest with you, at the rate we're going today, which is good news. We're gonna let these guys finish up. I'm gonna go find out what else I can help with. We're gonna let Kermit say hi. You say hi, Kermit? We find these little tree frogs inside all of our packaging, so we do our best whenever we catch these little guys, take them over to the woods. Well, it appears, though, they've built a playground. Coming in on about 12:30, so I think it's time for these guys to take a break, get some water, get a couple more things figured out, get a plan of attack for this afternoon. Once you get this many posts in the ground, you don't want to add too many more things to the structure until we can get all of these guys concreted in the ground. So Joey's going to do what Joey does. He's going to get everything nice, plumb and square. You can already see alignment starting to happen with a lot of these posts. So he's getting everything where it needs to be, preparing for concrete on these guys. Maybe we'll try and get the transfer station in with the handrail. In the meantime, we're going to continue prepping all of the other items while we wait for tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here and then see what the afternoon's going to bring us. We're back and we're at a little bit of a different angle. Apparently this phone is not liking the direct sunlight, so we put it in the shade over here. So we're going to be a little bit lower, get a different perspective of the progress here in the afternoon. So our goals here, we're going to go ahead and get that transfer station put in, and we want to go ahead and start getting some of the railings and some of the other smaller items put on, not necessarily fastened because the concrete is still wet. So we're just basically preparing for tomorrow, just trying to get as much small items, small tasks, whatever we can get done today. Having the extra 2 people here really puts us at a great advantage when it comes to getting one of these playgrounds put up. And when you see the finished product, you'll see it's usually we call it a 4 to 5 day playground it takes us to build, Joey and I. And this one's probably, we're going to be in a real good position by the end of the day tomorrow, provided the weather holds up. This project will be darn near completed and we'll be ready to start the other playground. So it's a good place to be, certainly not complaining about it. We're going to go ahead and start our afternoon work and get things moving. really? Here. Have a seat. Have a seat. I don't know how it's gonna suit you, but find a way to, I don't know. There you go. What, why'd you do that? I need his chakras to realign, and I need his mojo to kick in, and we just need to make sure he's okay, because the only stuff I got in the truck is for wounded dogs. I'm just kidding, Joey. I have ace bandages, we have knee braces, we have whatever you need. Were you sure it was your ankle, or? Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. Good progress for today. So we're gonna do a summary here shortly. We're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up, see if we can get Joey's boot off. See if we can figure out what's going on there. So we'll be back. Well, here we are on day 3. Yesterday ended a bit abruptly. Joey did end up actually spraining his ankle. So we ended up getting out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry over to the urgent care to make sure that he got taken care of. So he's all wrapped up and on light duty today, and he'll make it through. He'll be doing just fine. What we are going to pick up on today is, as you can see, we've got the structure complete. All of our posts are in the ground. We've got all of our decks set. We've got our transfer station set. What we're going to be focused on today is primarily slides. This particular playground has 4 slides on it. We've got 2 that come off the backside here. We have one large one called a Morpha slide coming off the front, and then we have another smaller slide over here. So the good news is, yesterday, while these guys were working on the deck, we were able to go ahead and get some of these other pieces and plastics already prepped and ready to go. So things should move fairly quick and fairly smooth today. Expect to see this playground to be about 90–95% completed by the end of the day today. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. On the back side of the playground, we got those 2. You can see the swirly slide there and the other swirly slide there, the 360s. So we have those mounted and secured to the top of the structure up there. That part is good to go. What we're working on right now with this dark blue circle right here is the Morpha slide, which is just a very, very large and heavy and very wide slide. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this piece, and on the other tasks for the 360 slides in the back, we're gonna start putting the bottom parts on those and start getting those drill holes pegged out so we can go ahead and drill those holes and set those poles and get that ready to go. So we'll have 2 different slide projects happening at the same time. I'll see if I can get the camera in a better spot so you can keep an eye on both of them. So they're going to go ahead and start with the fan climber. They're going to get that situated and get that little task out of the way. In the meantime, we're going to continue to work on the slides. Should have a pretty good vantage point. That Morpha slide frame is going to be I'm not a good weatherman. That Morpha slide is going to be right here. And then we're going to be working on getting these 360s assembled and get those marked as well. All right, I made a little bit of a whoopsie there. I put the wrong piece on up here, so now we've got the proper tunnel on there. We're going to go ahead and bolt the extension on and continue on the Morphus. We've got our holes drilled for the Morpha slide. We're going to go ahead and get our brace set. We're going to go ahead and get our exit brace set. These guys over here are continuing to work on the 360s, so you'll be able to go ahead and see what they're doing in terms of putting the slide up, getting their drill points set up, and then going ahead and drilling their holes and getting that slide ready to roll. Actually, I take that back. They're working on the wavy slide. They're not working on the 360. So they're actually working on the wavy slide, but same rules apply. All right, well, a couple of things happened that you really didn't need to see or hear. So the good news is we've got it all taken care of. So the Morpha slide is in. We were able to go ahead and get the brace put in there, and then go ahead and get the exit brace put in. So the Morpha slide is ready to roll. These guys were able to go ahead and get the wavy slide set and ready to roll. They are putting the final steps on the pod stepper on the other side. So I think what we're going to do is we'll reposition our camera, and I think we're going to go finalize these 360 slides. All right, well, the camera fell over. A little wind is starting to pick up out here. So they got the pod steppers done. You can see they've got all the black steps are now attached to the climber all the way up to the top. We've gone ahead and got all of the markings done for the 360 slides. So now we're going to go ahead and disassemble the slides. We're going to drill all these holes, get everything leveled, and get these slides all set. That's 2 slides all set. Well, we've got a couple of things closed up. While the camera was off, we've gone ahead and got all of our supports in for our slides. Those are all set and ready to go. The guys finished doing the small activity panels underneath the playground that we'll show you probably tomorrow once everything's all set. What we're doing right now is we're getting ready to go ahead and start concreting everything else into the ground. That should bring us to a close for the day. We were going to try and get the roof done today, but unfortunately the wind has picked up, and these giant roofs are just, it's a giant sail in the wind. So we're probably going to push the roof off and go ahead and do that first thing tomorrow morning when things are much calmer. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get some concrete work done. We're going to go ahead, we're going to start putting tools away, we're going to start cleaning up for the day, go take a look at the other playground, see what we've got ahead of us. I can hear kids over there, so we'll wait till their recess is over. But for right now, good day. Playground's basically completed. We'll do a walk through here just a little bit, but for now, clean up tools. So we're going to bring day 3 down to a close. Again, great progress on a park that usually takes 4 or 5 days with just 2 people. We've had great help. We are much farther along than we normally and typically would be with 2 people. Tomorrow morning, we're going to go ahead and get that roof set, try and do it first thing in the morning before the wind picks up. We've got that to do. We've got a couple of housekeeping things in terms of giving the playground a good wash down, because it has been sitting under some leaves and some trees for several months. We're going to go ahead and do that. We have to go ahead and put our borders all the way around, get it ready for mulch. Mulch is coming in on the, I think, Tuesday of next week. So we've got that coming, and then hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we're actually going to go over to the other side of the property, and we're going to knock down the playground over there, and we're going to try our hardest to get the first deck of the other playground set so that we're in a good spot on Friday morning. So that's going to do it for day 3. See you tomorrow. Well, rise and shine, day 4. What we're going to be doing today, as we discussed yesterday, we're going to go ahead and get our boom bowl ready. We're going to go ahead and lift up this blue roof over here, set it on top of this monster over here. That's our first task at hand. We're going to go ahead and get the cap put on there. We're going to get the boom pole rigged up and ready to roll. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it today. So here we go. and now we have a roof. Well, unfortunately, the time has come. We're going to go ahead and get this one taken down on the kindergarten and first grade playground. Send it over to the recycling bin, and then get ready to go ahead and set our first deck for the second playground that we're building over here. So the other guys are at the other playground finishing up the odds and ends that need to happen over there. I'm going to come over here, get started on this so we can have a smooth transition, keep things moving today. So bye-bye playground. That is the park delete. So it took 47 minutes, but as you can see, got everything out. We do our absolute best to get all of the giant concrete balls out as we can, especially since we're going to be building a new playground here. So I did get about 70% of them, 80% of them. There's a couple hunks of concrete we left back there, but the good news is the new playground that we're building is going to be a little bit smaller, and it's also going to be moved up front a little bit further. So we should be good to roll here. A little bit of Sawzall work. Show you what's left over of our playground, and there we are. So a little bit of Sawzall work, and then we're going to go ahead and get everything put in the big old recycle bin over there, and then start bringing things over here, get started on this new playground. All right, well, we've got the system all cleaned up, nice and shiny, pretty, ready to go. We've got our stickers on. We've done all of our safety requirements and our checks. So the next point that we've got here is to go ahead and put our border. So as I am prone to mistakes, we've gone ahead and laid these out. So we know that we've got all of our clearances met. A couple of adjustments were made. But with all of that, you can see that we have plenty of room all the way around the playground. The safety use zone is in good shape. So what we are going to do is go ahead and get the camera set up. We're going to go ahead and install the border, and we will be all ready. This playground will be all ready for mulch early next week. So with that, let's go ahead and get set up and get some borders in. Well, that's 160 foot of border, so it's in. We're good to roll. We're going to clean up this mess, and we're going to move on to the next playground. All right, so we have a little bit more work we did over here off camera. We got the area back dragged, nice and leveled out, so it's a good clean place for us to work, and also so we don't have too many soft spots for Joey. We don't want Joey going and twisting the other ankle on us. So with that being the case, this is a very, very small playground. It only has 3 decks. So we're going to go ahead and try and get this first deck set. Again, this is a recycled playground. It came from another school. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this one set, put in the concrete, and then we had a lot of work to do on the posts that go up and down. They were gouged up both during the removal process and of course the transport process over to this school. So let's go ahead and we're going to lay this out real quick. We're going to go ahead and dig some holes and set some poles, get this deck set, and then we'll start doing a little bit of painting. Well, we've done pretty good at keeping on schedule today. That took, looking at the clock here, 26 minutes. Minus the drilling the holes, so about a half hour, we got our deck set. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and clean up, get ourselves situated. We were gonna sand and paint these posts today. Having second thoughts, just simply because of, we want this to set up. So we're not gonna agitate it. We've only got 11 posts to do, so we'll go ahead and spray on those tomorrow. So that's it for this playground for today. So what we're gonna do is clean up, and I'll have a wrap up. Talk about today, we'll talk about tomorrow. All right, well, Joey and I are gonna call it a day. We got a lot done today, like we said yesterday, or 10 minutes ago, depending on where we are in the video. That playground is typically a 4 to 5 day playground. We got that one done we started Monday. We finished this morning at 11 o'clock. So that was fantastic progress on that one. All the borders are in, she's ready for mulch. That one's all set to go. We've got to do one more safety inspection and go ahead and get our documentation photos for completion. And then we were able to relocate this existing playground from over there, bring all the parts over to here. Got this area demoed today. We got this area leveled today, and then we went ahead and got the first deck set. So with that being said, it was a great day. Lots of work done. We should have this playground finished tomorrow by the end of the day. Fingers crossed. There's rain in the forecast. We'll see what happens. But outside of that, we're all set for here. Oh, and we have to clean up all that stuff from the demo and get it in the dumpster. Probably should do that today. Think about it. See you tomorrow. Well, we are on day 5. Starting on, Joey's already got the straps taken off of this guy over here, so this guy's set good overnight. So what we're gonna do is, Joey's already got the pins marked out where he's gonna go ahead and drill. We've got 2 more decks to set on this particular structure. Again, it's a very, very, very small structure. In fact, in comparison to the work that we just completed, this one is 3 decks, and then it's got just 1 staircase and the 2 slides. So this structure should be completed by the end of the day if the weather holds off. As you can see, it's definitely rain threatening all day today. But with that, we're gonna go ahead, start drilling some holes, setting some poles. A lot of sanding and a lot of painting to do today to go ahead and fix the damage that's been done on these posts from the previous demolition. So we're just going to go ahead, dig in, and get started. While Joey continues to dig the holes over here and get these poles set up and ready to go, unfortunately today is going to require a lot of generator work, so the generator is going to be running for a long time today. So we're probably going to have some fantastic background music playing. We're going to speed through some of this for you. So just a heads up, not a whole lot of me yakking for the next several hours while we get this stuff sanded down, while we get it painted, while the generator's running. Well, I do not have my microphone on, so I hope the audio comes through okay. We're at a good breaking point for today. So the entire structure is up. The only thing we're missing is we've got one step that goes right over on this transfer station, but the problem is the holes are so close to the posts that we just did that the holes usually collapse. So we'll go ahead, concrete those posts in. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll put that final step in, and then we have two more posts that have what they call chin-up bars, or I forget what we used to call them. You know, you can twirl around them. Long story short, we've got those two posts that still need to be done. So we're going to take care of that tomorrow when we come back. We're going to finish up the touch-up painting. We've got a weekend full of service calls. So what we're going to do is we have to go run over to the local county school warehouse to go pick up all of our parts for, I think we've got 5 stops to make this weekend. So it's going to be a busy weekend, and then we're still going to try and get back here probably tomorrow afternoon before the rain starts. Get these last couple of pieces done over here. Go ahead and get that border put in so we can put a check mark on this one. But that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to clean up and mosey on over to the warehouse. So we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we're back. Tell you what, today has been anything except a normal day. So we started our day off with a service call. It went a little bit longer than we expected. It's about an hour east of here. Got a little bit more involved than we were expecting, so we're getting a very, very late start. It is already mid-afternoon here, and we are under the threat of thunderstorms probably in the next hour or two. So the good news is we're in the home stretch on this playground right here. What we're going to be doing is Joey's going to be working on getting this slide right here, getting the last of the pieces and the parts bolted up on it, doing some of the hardware work with the self-tapping screws. I'm going to go ahead and get these other poles over here set up in the concrete, get them positioned. We didn't do those yesterday because it's difficult to concrete the structure and these two that are just kind of sitting out in limbo land. So now that we've got the structure sturdy, we can go ahead and set that. And then of course we've got the final step for the transfer station. So with that, we're gonna try and beat the rain on this one. Oh, and then try and get the border put all the way around. And oh yeah, we still have to demo that other playground, and we have to demo all those other playgrounds, and we got to fill the dumpster, and we can get it done in 2 hours, no problem. All right, here we go. We're off to work. We got to do math. Hold on. Well, it's day 5. Not using the microphone. I'm going to be using the regular microphone here, so I hope you can hear me. It's super windy here today. Temperature's going to be dropping all day, so really just demo day. Really what we're going to be doing is focusing on getting all of our trash cleaned up, getting everything loaded up into this dumpster. We're going to have another dumpster showing up tomorrow. We've got a couple of small odds and ends to finish up on this little park over here. And then, of course, Joey's going to start tearing down this one over here, and then we're going to move over to the other side of the property where we've got those other 3 smaller playgrounds that have to come down. So that's our goal for today. So stick around. y'all, we did it. We got both playgrounds done in 7 days, just like we were aiming for. We knew that today was going to be largely a demo day, but as you can see, we've got this guy all completed. Put a little band-aid in over here where we're missing the couple of pieces of border so they can still do the mulch at the beginning of the week and these kids can still play on it. We got this one cleaned up as best as we can. Remember, this came from another school, so it's been washed up as good as it can be. Joey's done a great job of knocking down that entire playground over there and got the entire thing in the dumpster. So I'll give you a little. So he's still over there getting it in there, but nonetheless, did a great job. This was an awesome project. 2 playgrounds, 1 week, including, one of these that was transplanted from another school. So with that, I believe our instructions and orders are going to be, we're going to North Carolina. I think we're going to North Carolina next. We might be going to South Carolina or north. Anyway, we're heading north. So that's going to wrap it up here in Savannah. We're going to go knock down those other 3 structures that are over on the other side of the property. There's not much to see there. They're just little steel tubes. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. We're going to wrap up this video. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you. Y'all take care, and we'll see you in the next state.